Realism is the key for your calls to bring in a curious buck. If you can't be realistic with your calls, then all you're going to do is scare every deer away and make them avoid your area altogether. And that is where the Tree Thrasher call is supposed to come in. What it's supposed to do is add 3 different sounds to your grunt calls. It's supposed to have rustling leaves, the sound of a buck rubbing on a tree, and snapping twigs. Like I said, it's supposed to add that extra element of realism to your grunt call. And just for full disclosure, Fourth Arrow did reach out to me and sent this call to me for free to do this review. Now, I am going to be brutally honest about this call, but I wanted you to be aware of it as you're listening to my thoughts on it. And so with that out of the way, let's get into my thoughts. Or well, actually, we'll start with what the call is supposed to do, each sound is supposed to make, and we'll kind of go over what I think about those as we go through it. And so the idea behind the call is to add more realistic sounds to your grunts. I mean, if you think about it, grunts don't just exist out there by themselves. It's not like a deer floats through the woods grunting. There's the crunching of leaves as they're walking. There might be some branches rustling, or maybe they're making that rub or something. There's just other sounds along with a grunt. And so how you would use this call is you'd throw out your grunt, and then you could take these 3 prongs and then you rub them on the tree to make it sound like a buck that's making a rub. So what we'll do is I'll take the camera outside, I will rub those prongs on the tree, see what it sounds like, and then I've got some sheds that I'll use to rub on the tree, and we'll see kind of how close it is. Now, that actually didn't sound that bad. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. I don't know, the plastic sound maybe would have come through, I'm not sure, but it actually sounded pretty close. The antler actually had a bit of more of a hollow sound, and I'm not sure if it's because it's a shed, maybe it's older, I don't know. It's close enough, I think, that it could work. So let's go on to the leaf sound. Actually, you know what, we're gonna save that one, but we're gonna go to this little tab on the back, and that is supposed to be the sound of a twig snapping. So this is what it sounds like. Does it sound like a twig to you? Okay, so I went outside and I got some sticks for us to try. Let's try this one because this is probably going to be more like one that would make. So here, just for reference, we'll do this. So I'm holding it up by the mic, so it actually sounds closer than I thought it would, but I don't know. Let's try a bigger one. Okay, how about this? Oh, shit. I can't break it. Oh, I just got dirt everywhere. I'm actually pretty surprised at how close that sounds to a breaking stick. I don't know, I'm gonna reserve my judgment on it till we get over to the last one, which is probably, to me, is gonna be the most useful, and that's the sound of rustling leaves. So a buck grunts and it's walking through the woods and it's supposed to... I haven't got quite the cadence right, but to me, that sounds pretty close to rustling leaves. And you can even make it sound like they're making a scrape or something where they're like... I think that sounds pretty good, actually. Now, hopefully I could find some video of a buck making a scrape or walking through the woods so we can compare the sound, but I do think it sounds pretty realistic. So now, my thoughts on the usefulness of this. Overall, I think it's pretty gimmicky, to be honest. I think while, yes, it could benefit you to add a little bit more realism, I think the only thing that really matters, I think, would be the sound of the rustling leaves. I think it could add that little bit of realism. It could kind of step that up a little bit. Do you need this call? Nah, not at all. Is it something that might be nice to have? I think it's like $40, so it's not that big of an investment, but it's still enough to where, should you really buy it if you don't know if you're even going to use it? I don't know, you'll have to make that decision. If I wasn't sent this for free, actually, I'll tell you this. If I wasn't sent this for free, I wouldn't have bought it. Now again, with that said, I am very pleasantly surprised at how close it comes to sounding like the sounds it's supposed to mimic. Is it something we really need to spend our money on? And there is a lot of products out there that are supposed to, step up your hunting game and all this other stuff. But the bottom line is it doesn't matter if you've got this call or you've got the best grunt call in the world. It doesn't really matter unless you are in areas that have deer anyway. Now, if you have this call and you like it, you think it really helps your hunting, let us know that stuff down in the comments below, because, you know, while I haven't been able to go out there and use it, and it hasn't been hunting season yet, I will try it this year. However, I think it's pretty hard for us to, you know, kind of compare how well these things work. I mean, how do you know that that buck wasn't going to come this way anyway? How do you know that if you hadn't sat there at all, you know, did this call not work? Because if you use this and nothing comes by, how do you know that it was this call and not your terrible scent control? Or maybe there's just no deer in the area at that time. It's very hard to really determine if something's really working or not. But you can't discount anecdotal evidence. If it works for you, let us know down in the comments below, and you might help somebody else decide whether or not they should get this product. Now, hopefully Fourth Arrow forgives me for being pretty harsh on this product. I think it's a good concept. I think the idea behind it is very sound. I just don't know that it's something we really need to spend our money on, and I can definitely be wrong. Like I said, leave your comments down below if it works for you. So if you like this review, make sure you hit that like button, and let me know down in the comments below if you want me to do more reviews like this. Hit that like button if you like this video, share it if you found it helpful, and make sure that you're subscribed so you can stay informed.